tried to do is, I learned the hard way that it's better to have special forces than have an army. But I tried to have an army. I'd put any bitch on. I don't care if you're a pig. I don't give a fuck. Any girl who said they'll do it, they'll do it. So I got to the point where I had 4 premises, 75 girls, all working on cam. But
just by the odds.
Just numbers. The basic structure was the girls would make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
I'd keep all the money and give them a little bit. That was the basic structure.
I believe the idea of work-life balance is absolutely misleading. I do not believe it exists. It makes no sense to me. And the reason for that is if you say that it is work-life balance, you are saying there are 2 separate things. As if one, work is not part of your life, and as if your life is not part of your work. To demonstrate there are 2 separate things, ask yourself these 2 questions. If tomorrow you got fired from your job, would it not affect your life? Well, obviously it would affect your life. The other question is if I gained 50 pounds, would it affect my performance at work? Most likely, it would for most people. To look at them as 2 things that we have to balance is just, it's absolutely misconstrued, and it leads us to try and solve these problems in ways that are not productive.
Set a goal and set a deadline, okay? Goals without deadlines are just dreams. One more time, because this is the foundation of everything that we're going to talk about here. Set a goal and a deadline. Goals without deadlines are only dreams. Why is this, guys? Well, because it puts pressure on you to actually perform, you have something to work towards, and it helps you, most importantly, formulate a strategy.
What's the best advice you've ever gotten? One thing that I like that helped me is you're crazy until you're successful, then you're a genius. I think for a lot of people, when you're grinding as a small channel, people think you're too obsessed, you're a weirdo, stop only making videos, like get a life, be realistic. People will convince you you're out of your mind for wanting to do this. But then once you're successful, they're like, yo, your drive, your tenacity was great. But it's like, yeah, well, where was that back then? You know what I mean? I didn't get that when I was a small channel. And so I think you're crazy until you're successful, then you're a genius.
It's how to fix your problems. And the first thing that you have to understand when you're looking at fixing your problems is that you're never gonna not have problems. My favorite quote in the entire world is that you can tell the size of a man by the size of his problem. And I absolutely believe it's true. Either you're not gonna be able to pay your light bill or you're gonna have a $100,000 a week payroll. Either one is a problem. You wanna choose your problems. You wanna create problems that are worth actually having. It's all in ratio to what you yourself can handle.
People these days say things like, well, I wake up at 5 a.m., meditate, work out, drink 72 ounces of chlorine water, then I stand up outside, then I go do a headstand, then I drink green juice. Okay, I guess you could go do those things, or you could do none of them, and instead focus on thinking clearly, intently, and strategically before you pull any triggers. Make it the one thing you need to focus on each day, and that might beat any morning routine that some guru tries to sell you.
You had to live on $1,500 a month. Would you be able to do it?
Live on $1,500 a month? Absolutely. But here's what I would do if I had to live on $1,500 a month. I would find somebody that would allow me to live with them for free, and I would reduce my expenses to 0, and I would save that $1,500 every single month for as many months as it took to come up with a down payment for a piece of real estate or something that I could rent or generate cash flow. And I would continue to do that, I don't care how long it took, until I was not making $1,500 a month.
Talking with my operations guy, and something that him and I literally laugh about, I swear, every single week, is him and I sit there and we work endlessly, literally every day, regardless of what happens. Like, I'm always on the road traveling, always got all these meetings I'm going to, but even I show up day after day after day and I get stuff done. Even he gets things done every single day regardless of what happens. But all these motherfuckers that come to us, yeah, I'm really good at this skill, yeah, I can help, I want to be a part of this, I want to get rich, I want to do this, I want to do that. But then, guess what happens? They get into an argument with their girlfriend and all of a sudden they can't work for 2 nights. Or they go on vacation and all of a sudden they can't work for a week. Like, just all these little nonsense reasons that you can't get work done. And that's why you're not going to become successful. The only way you're going to become successful is if you're actually dedicated. You could still have an amazing relationship. You could still go on vacation. You can still have a life. But you need that dedication where you could sit down for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours in a day and get stuff done regardless of what's going on around you. That is dedication. That is how you become a success.
You got to get to the top. People have to know you, not because, oh, he's a good salesman. Oh, he's a good this. Oh, he's an artist. Oh, he's a good pianist. Oh, he writes a great, story. No, dude, people need to know you for one major thing first.
He works. He produces. The guy's there every day. The guy's pushing and shoving. Because the truth is, no matter how good your ideas are, how good your art is, or how good your skill set is, if you're not working, man, if you're not vibrating at a frequency that people say, my God, how does that guy do all that? Look, if you're not working at that level, you're not going to make it. Get your work ethic in, man.
Running a business is very, very, very hard. Don't let anybody fool you. For every one person that makes it, 98 go out of business. Just keep that in mind. It's not like one of these things where everybody goes out there and does it. So for you, if you're sitting there saying, man, I don't know if I want to go out there and start a business, no problem. Go find somebody that isn't, team up with them. But the reality of it is, if you are somebody that's not afraid of hard work, if you are somebody with a real vision, if you are somebody that's willing to pay the price, this is the perfect season for you.
If you have your house, you can rent your house to your business for employee meetings. You can rent your house to your business for member events. Here's the cool part. The Augusta rule states that we can lease our home to our business for up to 14 days, all right? And so whatever my day rate is, that would be fair market, I can multiply that by 14 and I can write myself a check for that, provided I've used my home for that period of time.
Everybody thinks anybody can do it. So patience, betting on your strengths, figure out who the you are, right? Listen, learn, and let me promise you two things. There's no 9-week process to make money, right? There's no 7-figure expert that's gonna show you the way. It's hard work.
No one would ever think that fixing their life starts with making their bed or cleaning out their car. But you can go back to a quote like that you use as an anchor and get your life back in order, get your business, your health, your finances back in order.
I remember I was at a sales conference at one time and I got to sit next to the president of the company, and he made a comment that I thought was fascinating. He said, my whole philosophy of business is either you execute or you're executed. And I thought, man, that's great. I like these pithy little sayings. Either you execute or you're executed. And so it's all about executing on a daily basis. If somebody just hands you something, you're probably not going to end up executing, so you'll end up being executed.